while we can never totally eliminate cheating in education, there are a lot of ways that we can minimize and discourage instances of cheating. So let's talk about them. Okay, number one, begin test with university policy on academic honesty. So why do this? There have been several studies that have proved that reminders like this can significantly reduce cheating. So what you can do is before the student takes the test, they will see a reminder of the school's policy on academic honesty and reminders about the penalties that they can incur if they are caught cheating. So this may not deter the super hardcore cheaters or, future members of Congress, but it's worth a try. I mean, the more students are reminded of what is at stake, the more likely that they will not cheat at all. Number two, avoid recall or memory questions. Well, like we talked about, all exams are now open book exams. The typical questions of rote memorization, they don't really work anymore. They can easily Google the answer. They may have apps. They can even ask other classmates for the answer. And the simpler the answer, the easier it is to spread among students. So now we have to shift to more complex questions and therefore complex answers. More analysis or synthesis types of questions. Number three, randomize question order. Well, in an online exam, it's very easy for students to cheat by asking other classmates, what's the answer in number five? Well, if we randomize the question order, it makes it harder to cheat. Now they have to actually ask the entire question instead of saying just the number of the question. And the more obstacles we can place in front of the student, the less willing and able they are to cheat. And again, just remember, we will never stop all cheating, but we can make it harder on them. Number four, randomize the options within a question. So we can slow down student cheating another way by scrambling the order of the options in a question. So for example, one student may see that letter C is the correct answer in his exam, but another student will have letter D as the correct answer, and another student may have letter A as the correct answer. And again, if they are really determined to cheat, they can compare their exams and eventually figure out. But this will take even more time, and the more we slow them down, the less they are able to cheat. Number five, display one question at a time. So, another way that students can cheat is for them to screen capture the questions and then send it to their group chats to crowdsource the correct answers. And we make it easier for them to cheat if we have multiple questions on a single page. So they may see 10 questions in one page, and so they can send all of that. But if we have only one question per page, they have to screen capture every single question, which again is not impossible, but slows them down even more. So they have to overcome that if they really want to cheat. Number six, prohibit backtracking. So related to the previous strategy of having only one question per page, preventing backtracking means they have to answer each question before they can move on to the next. And that will make it so much harder for them to cheat. Number seven, add a time limit. Give students enough time and they will find a way to cheat. So we take that away from them by putting them under time pressure. The reason for the other strategies that we discussed is to make cheating more time consuming. When we make cheating more complicated, then the time limit forces students to be honest about taking the exam, because otherwise they might fail if they take so much time when they are scrambling to cheat. Number eight, limit test availability. Again, another time constraint. We want to be considerate to our students and give them enough time to take the exam and account for problems like brownouts, computer crashes, and other problems. But if we give them too much time, there is a greater chance that they will find a way to cheat. For example, Giving them a 2-hour window to take the test may drastically cut down on the chances of students circulating the exam amongst themselves. But this is not a good idea because it leaves students vulnerable to any internet or power problems. If Casoreco schedules a 12-hour brownout, some students may not be able to take the test at all. Or maybe their internet connection becomes unreliable for the 2-hour window. Or maybe their computer crashes. So many things can go wrong. On the other hand, giving students a 1-month window means they have so much time to figure out a way to game our leniency. I usually give my students a 3-day window. I think it gives them some wiggle room for any unforeseen problems, but it's not too long that they are going to find it easy to cheat. Number 9, minimize feedback to students. When students answer tests, they often like to get feedback immediately after completing the test. Because obviously, if you failed or if you passed or if you got a good grade, you'd want to know it immediately. Well, online testing have features that allow students to get immediate feedback. The problem is, if we give our students feedback like this, they may use that information to let other students cheat. If they find out that they got number 9, number 10, number 12, number 14 wrong, then it's easier for the other students to figure out what is the right answer. So as much as we want to help our students with feedback, we should try to minimize it, especially if there is a great risk of them being able to figure out certain questions. Number 10, use a question bank. Using a question bank with hundreds, sometimes thousands of prepared questions means that we can make each exam unique to the student. They can't cheat by asking their classmates since they have a different set of questions. For example, if we have a question bank of 500 questions, we can make 50-item exams for each student, and they will likely be composed of a different set of questions. However, professional database question banks often require payment. So the alternative is for teachers to pool their own questions and create their own question bank. Over time, a school can grow its own question bank.